today. From U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings taking on Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
And able to get this out to the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr. This defense for the Vikings, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4. Now it's Fields. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
One play action, Fields. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. A check-in on the numbers last week for Robinson. 3 catches, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses had better focus on.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Leaping, and he makes the grab. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
Now, that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a 1st down.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Fields now to throw. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. And the Bears are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Justin Fields with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
I'm going to give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, he just danced away from that one defender on his way to a gain of about 7 yards. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 22 carries, 104 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space. Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession. The Vikings send out their punter. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at the 23. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Bears take over. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, Extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. This defense for the Vikings, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Rolling to his right. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Play action. It's Fields. He'll buy some time right. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
It's about that time.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. Oh, spinning away. 4 yards there on the carry. Gets it back to 2nd and 11.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Off play action, Fields. Sliding out of the pocket. Robinson's got it. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 3 yards all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. On the return is Cohen. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Flushed out right. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Here's Fields. And open is Robinson. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They'll run forward Montgomery. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as the Bears push further out in front. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Behind the chain, 2nd and 13. To throw is Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. Going for the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown. Jarnell Mooney with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears are able to add on to their first half lead.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Now the point after try for Santos. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. First down, here's Cousins. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. He sets to fire deep. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. A real real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. To throw is Fields. Flush to his right. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. A final shot before the break. Fields eluding the pressure right. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Justin Fields, as time expires in the first half. And the Bears would extend their lead here just before halftime.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
23 yards on the play.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On play action, Cousins. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 25-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And this is going to be hauled in. Oh, what a catch at the 10. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Throwing is Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Zach Davidson, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Escaping the pressure right. James has got it. Complete.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. Montgomery, a first down and then some. And he's got some space here. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bears continue to pour it on.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Khalil Mack in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. On 1st down, it's Montgomery, and the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. 2nd and 7. Now Fields. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Fields. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
On 1st down, it's Fields. They'll roll him out right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
Rolling to his right.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Cousins to throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Here comes Cohen. A spin. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense ready to get going again. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 109 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep them.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. And for the defense, their 3rd sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Here's Fields. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Touchdown, Bears! Darnell Mooney, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Bears are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, they just can't get off the ground. And that play, they wound up losing yardage.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A 1st down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Bilal Nichols. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Another try after the 1st down sack. Cousins, and complete right side to Cook. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is taken at the 15. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Chicago offense set to get started. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. His throw here's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Flush to his right, and it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired. In hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Got that ice bath, felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. That one looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Back to throw, Fields. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there.
Even with the big lead here in the fourth, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
Throwing again is Fields. Buying time to his left. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
The extra point up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now a first down throw, Fields. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Second and 10. Back to throw. Fields gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Well, I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Fielded just inside the 30. Oh, good move. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bears, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road date next week when they take on Washington. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. And for Charles Davis,